I'm Grayson Marshall Jr. I am the Metacognition Maven. I'm the guy to get you to believe in you. Metacognition by definition means the understanding and awareness of how you think. I think people in the world today know what they want to think or believe what they should think, but understanding how you think, how do you process everything? Is it more response than reaction? What is it about the way that you see things that allows you to function on a daily basis? Are you always looking for the positive, or do you find yourself gravitating to the negative? I think when you understand how you think, do you think scarcity or abundance? When you begin to realize what it is you default to, now you can really identify why you have the outcomes you have in life, why you emote the way you emote, why you are held back at times, why you succeed at times. It's not always to the detriment of how you think. It's really just becoming aware of what works for you and what doesn't work. And that allows you to be more intentional, be more unique, be more transparent. Tradition, the way you've been raised. Belief systems are incredible. And we have to understand that our subconscious mind is beyond powerful. And what sits in the subconscious is going to rule the conscious mind. My buddy, Jack Canfield, put it like this. The subconscious mind and conscious mind work like two sets of horses. You got 95 horses pulling this way. You got 5 horses pulling this way. The 5 horses represent your conscious mind. The 95 horses represent your subconscious mind. I don't care how hard these 5 horses pull, the 95 wins every time. The challenge of the world we live in is that all of the addressing is with the 5 horses. So we do all the work over here. Nobody ever talks about doing this work. So we bust our tail over here, we work hard over here, we make changes over here, and we've never addressed the 95%. So all the effort that we're making is plausible, it's condemnable, it's amazing, but it's not lasting because these 95 horses are pulling no matter what. Every past experience, every thought you had, unless you change these, all the effort is for naught. That's why biblically it talks about the mind and what has to happen. Out of the heart, the mouth speaks. So what you speak, you literally bring in. So if your subconscious mind is talking and you don't realize what you're saying, you actually are speaking damnation, hell, guilt, everything on your life. And you're doing it unconsciously. You don't realize you're doing it. So I think what I've been able to do for people is really talk to them about, did you hear what you just said? One of the things that I deal with when I talk to my clients is, did you hear what you just said? In conversation. No, I didn't. Here's what you said. No, I didn't. Yeah, you did. And we do things so plausibly habitual that we don't know some of the things that we're doing to hold ourselves back. So for me, that's one of the important things that I share with people. Let's fix this so we can manifest what you want in life. I think anybody that's dealing with depression is dealing with a self-image issue. It's based on past experience that are really true. It happened. It's where you are. However, I totally believe that you have, see, for me, I have to have my foundation and my faith. So some of the things I say are totally based on my belief system, which is in Christ. So when I look at that, if you're depressed, the first question is why? Most people don't want to deal with why. They don't want to talk about why. Well, I can't fix a problem with the same mind that created it. Why are you depressed? And unfortunately, a lot of them don't even know. They have no idea. They think it's one thing, but when you really start doing some work and talking with them, there's some deep-rooted stuff. And the only reason I know this is because that was prevalent in my life. So I know what that's like when it comes down to it. But I talked about it yesterday. To me, the keys to living the life you've always imagined. If I'm depressed, number one, own where you are today. No excuses, no explanations. That's the first thing I have to do is I own it. I'm depressed because something else is controlling my emotions. That's why I'm depressed. It's not a self-imposed thing. I didn't wake up feeling like this. Something has happened that is constantly dealing with me, and I'm allowing it to deal with me. And unless I want to own it, unless I want to talk about it or admit it, it's not going to happen. You know, John and I were talking the other day about him dealing with PTSD. He said, I had to really come to grips with, I have that. I can't pretend like I don't. I can't be macho and let it go. I have that. So now that I'm in that, what do I do here? That's the first thing for people. They don't want to own where they are. And if you don't own it, you can never get beyond it. Number two, that depression is usually from past experience. So number two, they gotta live in the present moment. Most of what you're dealing with in depression was stuff that happened before. We're not dealing with it right now. So if you're living here, why is that? But again, knowing why, dealing with why will affect right now. The third piece of it is living in agape. If I'm depressed, I'm not loving the authentic me. I've got to have unconditional love for me. What's happened, what's going to happen, what I believe is going to happen, what can happen. I have to have that. And if I don't have it, then I'm really going to be challenged with it, because depression comes from conditions. Agape is unconditional. If conditions are dominating my life, then I've got to grow to a new level of love. The fourth key is finding the good in everything. What did that experience? You took it as depression, but what can we find good out of it? What did it really do to you? Did it change your network? Did it redefine your commitment? Did it make you continue to press forward? What are the things that came out of that experience? And then number five, empower your legacy. What are you using it to help somebody else with? What are you taking from that experience, and who are you helping because of that experience? Who's benefiting from what you went through? So that's the advice I would give them. I believe it's the keys to life. It's in my book. It's what I talk about, and I think it can be applicable anywhere if you want the life you've always imagined. I want to be one of the most impacting, life-changing speakers that the world's ever seen. So I want to leave that impact. The second thing is I want to leave you the ability to do it without me. I want to equip people to the point where they don't need me, but I want to be there if they do. See, to me, that's the key to leadership, is what Jesus did. He left because they gave you everything you need. And so for me, experience touching people's lives. Are you better after having met me? Do you not need me? See, then I've done my job. If you can come, be impacted, change your life, not go back to what you're doing, but elevate and grow, I did my job. And that's what I want to leave. I want that experience. I want people who spend time with me to go home and think, evaluate themselves, not beat themselves up. Hey man, I can do this. Well, let me look at this thing and go on and do amazing things. And I can cut on TV and I'll watch movies and say, hey, I know that guy and I know her. Look at that movement right there. I know her. I spent time with her. Look at how she's growing. Look at what. Those are the things that I take satisfaction in, because it ain't about me. And I think when you can build a world of people, then it's not about them, but they're important. So I think oftentimes we say it's not about us, but then we devalue our importance. No, it's not about you, but you're still important, because it can't happen without you. So I think those are the impacting things that I want to leave people. Who are you? And do you know that? Do you recognize, honor it? And are you living to be the best you? I am Grayson Marshall Jr. I am the Metacognition Maven. I'm the guy that gets you to believe in you.